You're listening to today's inspirational message on the Proverbs with Kurt Bjorklund.
So the words that you say and I say have a huge impact on the trajectory of our lives. Now, I don't mean by that we speak things into existence. What I mean is what Proverbs seems to indicate in Proverbs 10, where we learn about how righteousness or choices impact our lives. Proverbs 10:10, whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Verse 13, on the lips of him who has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. The wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool brings ruin near. The Expanded Bible on verse 14 says, they don't tell all they know. The Living Bible says only a fool blurts out all that he knows. Then in verse 19, it says this, when words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver, and the heart of the wicked is of little worth. H.A. Ironside on verse 20 said this. He said, the tongue of the just bespeaks the heart in subjection to God. And so here there are a couple things about the tongue that are important to understand. And the first is that there is really power in restraining the sheer number of our words. When it says that when there are many words, transgression is not lacking. Sometimes just simply choosing to say fewer things matters, because when we speak a lot, it's hard to, one, not enter into transgression is what this says, and two, to be genuinely interested in others and to receive wisdom because we're so busy talking about what's important. And so simply choosing fewer words is one of the paths to wisdom in life. A second thing that happens here is we see slander articulated directly. This is verse 18. Whoever conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. And slander is a nasty part of life. And if you've ever been stung by words that are said about you but not to you, you understand this. Because you've probably had a friend or somebody you thought was a good friend until you heard what they actually said about you when you weren't in the room. And if so, then you've experienced slander. And we rarely call slander by its name. And probably that's because it sounds beneath us to say, oh, that's slander. But slander is common among self-determined, sophisticated people. And it's so common because it's human, and it's common because it often makes the one slandering feel superior to those that they talk about. And because it's a lazy way to, in our minds, put ourselves ahead. And it's easy to talk about people who are not present and say things about them that we would never say if they're present. But here, Proverbs is saying, be careful with that, because when we're hurt or when we're miffed or when we're envious, it's easy to say things with exaggerations and half-truths to bring other people down to a level in the eyes of those we're talking to. But in Proverbs, slander is stupid. Slander might be giving misinformation or a bad report, but it's stupid because it erodes the trust of the people that you're talking to, as they basically in their minds will say, if he or she can say that about him or her when they're not around, what will they say about me when I'm not around? Slander is stupid because when it gets back to the person that you spoke about, and it usually does, they too will be upset by what you said, and you are likely to harm a relationship. And slander is stupid because of what it does to us. Even if it's never repeated, by engaging in running someone down who's not present to defend themselves or herself, we set up ourselves as the judge of others. Matthew 7:1 says, don't judge. And what we're doing is we're feeding our own sense of superiority. And this is destructive to our own soul, as we're not getting our sense of security from what Christ has said about us, but from the judgments we're making about others. When we tear down others. We're putting ourselves in a place of moral superiority. And no matter the particulars, true gospel understanding of our own condition without Christ will lead us away from such judgments. And so today, as we consider the tongue, it's important to simply say, I am going to say fewer words and I'm going to avoid slander as a way to build more of the good choices, more wisdom, more righteousness into my life.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.